Hey guys, and welcome back to Same Ship Different Day. Welcome back on board the Pacific Explorer. Time to give you a tour around this empty ship. She's been without guests now for well over a year, so it's very strange times here, and I think you'll all be interested to see how she's getting on. Also, a lot of work done last year in the dry dock back in February 2020, which many of you won't have been able to see even if you did have cruises booked, because everything unfortunately had to be cancelled. 1 year into this pandemic, cruise ships surrounded by other empty cruise ships, and I think it's time to see what's been going on board. Just before I begin, guys, as always, I've got my trusty mask with me, and I'll be wearing that whilst I'm indoors, as that is the company regulation. So I do apologise if you have any interruption with the mask, but with my mic on, hopefully it will be fine. Also, as always, my views and opinions do not reflect those of my employer. Okay guys, I thought I'd kick this off down here in the Marquee Theater. Similar as I did on the Coral, you really get a feel of how empty the ship is when you come into this theater and see it completely empty. Probably a 300 seat theater, something like that. And over a year now, completely untouched. You can see the production booth up at the back is all covered in plastic, and nobody's on board from the entertainment department. No singers, no dancers. My girlfriend, in fact, is actually a dancer. So she's been well over a year now without being on a cruise ship, which is such a shame. And it's such a difficult time for the entertainment industry at the moment. Obviously now they're trying to get back on their feet as things start to open up, and hopefully cruises will start going again soon as well. Hopefully one day we'll see this theatre filled up again with lots of people enjoying one of our wonderful production shows on board. Let's keep going. We're gonna have a quick sneaky look at backstage. Not really too much to see. This is actually side stage, let's say. This would be an area where people can get ready. They obviously have an additional, more private backstage as well. But for any other touches or changes, musicians, everybody can stand by here during the shows. And then obviously you run out onto the stage to perform for everyone. So the next thing aft of the Marquee Theater is one you'll probably know very well, the Explorer Hotel. So back when this was Princess, didn't look anything like this. Since P&O came and took it over, they've renovated completely. It looks fantastic. Usually a very busy spot, obviously completely empty. We are still using this as our muster station for our crew members, but you would normally be in here watching Danny Black on the stage, enjoying all different types of bands and music, playing games with the cruise staff. And now completely empty, and the bar, as you can see, all closed. Crew members sometimes come here to practice on the piano. It's our second engineer from Russia, very talented man, multilingual, and comes here to sometimes play the piano as well. I'll give you a full-length video at the end of this so you can watch him play. So also on deck 7 then you have our Promenade Deck, completely empty at the moment. You might be able to spot a little bit of maintenance that's been going on whilst we had the ship all to ourselves. Guys working hard down here every day, doing work along the deck and on the lifeboats. Recently been into wet dock, so we had a bit of extra work done as well, but we're still able to use this for our leisure, to do different laps, walking, running around, whatever we fancy. Moving aft again then, still deck 7, we find ourselves at the Ocean Bar. So back when this was Princess, it would have been the Crooner's Bar, the Dawn Princess. This now is Ocean Bar, again renovated, looking great. I don't think they touched this one in dry dock, but I don't think they needed to. This again would be another spot you'd definitely be finding Danny Black playing the guitar, enjoying a cocktail, having a good time. And then during the sea days, you can sit in the windows and look out. Not too many sea days nowadays, we basically just sit at anchor. You can see here, actually, I'll show you, we've covered all the handrails to keep them nice and safe and protected and untouched until we return back to sailing. And this then obviously leads us into our atrium, which goes on this ship from deck 5 all the way to deck 8. However, there has been a change on Deck 8 during the dry dock that many of you won't have seen. Let's go take a look. So we're here then in 400 Gradi, one of the best pizza spots at sea, even if I do say so myself, up on Deck 8. Now this may all look very familiar as you left it. However, if we head this way, you might not have spotted is that now there's a bulkhead here. Glass view down onto the atrium, bulkhead, which means that this is now a totally enclosed restaurant, which means that the atmosphere and everything stays in here. You're not really distracted by what's going on down in the atrium. That can have its positives and negatives, of course, but actually this might make it more of a exclusive kind of restaurant at night than if you're basically engrossed in whatever games or shows or music might be playing down in the atrium at the time. You let me know in the comments what you think of this, if you think this is an improvement or you liked being able to hear when we have musicians down in the atrium all the way down on Deck 5. It does give you an interesting view because there's no rail here obviously now, so you've got this full floor to ceiling glass panel, which is quite cool. Right, unfortunately I'm not going to get myself a pizza here because everything is shut down, and you see nobody here in the galley. Completely unused for the past year or so. So that renovation was done in the dry dock last year. Let's go to the next part on the other side. So Deck 8 port side midship, another new addition that came on in the dry dock February last year, is this place behind me. Not very much natural light in here, so you're not going to be able to see much, unfortunately. But kids don't need natural light, do they? So this is called Level Up. It's the kids' brand new gaming centre, all pretty much untouched since it was done. As you can see, quite a lot of cool games and things for them to take part in when we do get back to sailing, and they can even spend your money for you on these grabbers. You've even got virtual reality on this one. Now I have a feeling it's not going to be just kids having a go on this one after a couple of beers. Anyway, this is something that I really want to try get turned on, have a go at some point before I leave. I'm not sure if I'm allowed though. Quite a cool new addition, and one that will help keep the kids busy for a bit more of the day. This is Level Up. Sticking on Deck 8 then, we head into one of the biggest open spaces on any of the decks indoors, and that is our casino here at Deck 8 midship. Obviously completely not occupied, but it gives you a very good feeling of the ambience. This is also one of the coldest rooms on the ship. You can just see absolutely nobody around, very much empty space. No fun, no gambling. I'd say a little less spooky than the one on the Coral, if you remember, all covered in dust sheets. They're still all looking brand new from when she became Pacific Explorer, top of the range stuff, ready for somebody to come back and use it. Now let me show you something you might not have spotted if you were on this ship before. So I've just come down to Deck 7, where the internet area is. You can access the computers here. And something that you might not have spotted if you were before is these are the staircase that leads to the casino. You can see there's a massive roulette wheel in marble on the deck head above, which is quite a cool feature, I think. Now there's not much left to go on Deck 8 aft, so I think I'll stay on Deck 7 and I'll take you into one of my favourite bars, although I never really get to use it. This is the Bonded Store Bar. Quite dark in here at the moment. As you can see, all the lights are turned off, but this is a specialty cocktail bar. Very cool. Some fantastic cocktails that are served here over the years. Shame to see it empty, but definitely one for you to come and visit when we get going again. Moving swiftly on to the main events, the nightclub, Blue Room, Deck 7 midship. Come on in. Some quite cool decor in here. A little bit spooky considering we're on an empty cruise ship. Everything kept looking fresh. Again, normally this place would be absolutely full of people. The dance floor dancing. We'd have a live band down in the far end. For the moment, everything's just been stored up and cleared away so that we can clean it, obviously, keep everything nice and fresh. Again, another area where we'll be having live entertainment and totally shut down at the moment. So let's head aft. Passing down on empty deck 7. This is usually where we'd have the photo gallery full of everybody's pictures from the cruise. As you can see, all totally closed down for the moment. Again, even more jobs that aren't being filled on board. As you can see, you might see it around. We've got some plastic down on the carpets. Quite a lot of the carpets are brand new from the dry dock last year. Obviously we don't want to get them damaged or anything before they return to service, so they've all been covered to keep them nice and clean for you guys when you get back. I think this carpet was probably here before, but there's quite a few around that are new, and so that's what we're doing. Now this brings us swiftly on to a very cool part of the ship, the Black Circus. Deck 7 aft. This used to be known, if anybody's a Dawn Princess sailor, as the Vista Lounge. Should we go have a look? Again, totally redecorated by P&O. Cool line feature here. Tiger, sorry. Overlooking the Love Riot stage. So you have an event here, a circus event. Evenings, adults only. I think it's a paid event, but I'm not sure if that's going to be changing. And of course you have the bar back here, serving all the cocktails and drinks. Lots of other stuff going on down here. Good old Demo Simus will be back, hopefully, to entertain us with some comedy in this lounge. And the comedy cruises and stuff they do is obviously always filled. So again, to see another theatre completely empty and wasted, it is a shame. We did actually use this when we had to do our COVID testing when we were alongside in Singapore. So we did get some use out of it for that at least. But for the time being, sitting empty, waiting for people to get back. We take a cheeky look backstage at the Love Riot Black Circus Theatre. You can see all the costumes here ready to get a team back on board and a cast doing the show once again. This would be where they're getting ready. Quite a tight squeeze back here, obviously at the aft end of the ship, full of all the props and costumes needed for the show. As we're already at the aft end on deck 7, let's take a minute. It's where you stand and look at the wake of the ship going astern of us. Obviously no one around on this promenade deck at the moment. You have access straight here from deck 7. You can get a feel from here just how many ships are an anchor here along with us. Normally none of these really would be cruise ships, just cargo ships waiting to go into port. And now we've become one of them, a cruise ship waiting to get sailing again. You can see many of them behind me: Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Princess, Star Cruises, Carnival, everything. We've all just sat here waiting. We're back down here in the atrium on deck 6 now. And this is obviously where all our shops are, which are completely closed up at the moment. All plastic. All waiting for some shoppies to come back on board to fill up these stores with stuff to buy, get back to work. From this area, overlooking the atrium, we'll head into a couple of our specialty restaurants that we have here on board Pacific Explorer. 2 very cool themed restaurants. You have Angelo's over here, which is Italian, and the famous Dragon Lady over here, which is our Asian style dinner service. Again, completely empty, nobody around. Not used in over a year now. And this bad boy is in the Angelo's restaurant, one of the coolest features on board, and definitely something I'd be trying to take if they ended up selling the ship. Really cool restaurant, nice views out. There's different bits of work going on here, but mainly unchanged since before the pandemic. Another great Italian restaurant. So here we are, down in the heart of the ship, in the atrium. Again, normally always full of people. Completely deserted at the moment. Very strange feeling. Behind me over there is the passenger services desk, which obviously there's nobody there. However, we are using that also for crew at the moment. And on this side of the atrium, one of my favourite spots, obviously Charlie's bar. This is where they kick off live at Charlie's at the end of the cruise, with all the musicians usually performing in the atrium down here, and a great coffee bar where you can sit with a fantastic view just above sea level, looking out and enjoying your cappuccino. Again, all completely renovated by P&O when they took over the ship, and I think it looks great. Now finally, down here on deck 5 we have the main restaurant, the Waterfront restaurant, which is where you'll probably be spending a lot of your time once you get back on their cruise. I'm not sure if they'll be returning to buffet service. So down here again, nice big dining rooms, high and low tables, great views, worth a visit. Obviously not totally set up at the moment because we need to get it clean, so you got to keep moving everything around. Also down here on deck 5 in the Waterfront is the Taste of Salt by Luke Mangan, the special dining area, used or covered at the moment obviously to protect it, used for a very special evening indeed. And then from here I think you can get the special event when you're then escorted up to the Love Riot. I'm not sure if that's going to be happening anymore, we'll wait and see, but I'm sure plenty of you have good memories of doing it. Let me know if you did do that Love Riot dinner and escort over to the Circus Theater, Black Circus. I did have a word with the F&B director on your behalf, and he did give me permission to come through the magic swinging doors and show you quickly what the galley's like. Obviously empty at the moment. Let's go through. So all stainless steel, as you might imagine, like in a professional kitchen, and lots of things currently covered up, wrapped up, as obviously they're not in use for the time being. But this will give you a bit of idea of scale. This huge service line going all the way along where they prep the food, and all the stations behind it, and the hot plates where they cook and prepare all the meals. And this is where the magic happens. I think that's pretty much everything I can show you down here, so let's head up to some of the top decks, up to deck 14 maybe, show you the pantry, and we'll take one of our elevators. A little bit different from when it was the Dawn Princess. Quite funky, cool, different graphics in every single elevator. Okay then guys, I think I'm going to pause there and finish this first video, and I'll split it up into two parts. I don't want to be going on for 30 minutes. I've still got quite a lot of the ship left to go, so we're going to be showing you all the bits up on the top deck where I've been using, where I've been hanging out by the pool, the bar, and all the other bits as well. So please do come back and check in for part 2. Also, I've got 2 lots of second engineer playing the piano, so don't worry, I'll give you one to end it now and another one to end it then. I did record everything together, but I just don't want it to go on too long. Also, this gives you an opportunity to ask some questions. Maybe it's something I missed that you want me to go over or go through or speak about. I know a lot of you are asking about return to cruising in Australia. At the moment, I think P&O have delayed all their cruising until the 17th of September. So that's obviously the date for now, but we just have to wait and see what the Australian government are saying. Obviously, that's basically our guidance. So for now, 17th of September will be the return date for P&O, and hopefully we can make that happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you haven't subscribed already, please do consider it, and give me a thumbs up if you like this one. I'll come back very soon with the next video. Don't worry, there won't be a big delay. I've already started editing everything. I just didn't want to drag on for too long. Okay guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. I'll see you soon. Beautiful. Bravo. If you want.